Pleased to be joined with Regina Pat's prospect Braden Hordichuk after his first skate here with the regiment, and you're here at the 2024 Spring Development Camp. Last night was registration orientation and a nice little banquet where you had the opportunity to put on the Pats jersey for the first time. Just explain the experience so far.
No, it's been cool. Like the draft, the redo draft, it was really cool. Just going on stage, hearing my name called, and yeah, nice to live through that again.
Today was your first skate and putting on that Pats jersey on the ice. What was it like to get on the ice here in Regina with some future teammates?
No, it definitely feels amazing. Just especially getting to play with them, getting the chem up. Just pretty nice. Just skate with them. So yeah.
Maybe going back to the start of May, or maybe even prior to that, when you first started having conversations with the Regina Pats when they won the U.S. priority draft lottery. What was it like to know that you were going to come to such a historic franchise, and how excited were you when you found out that Alan Miller and his staff were going to select you first overall?
I was pumped to hear good news. So, I mean, it's been a great organization so far. It's been around since 1917. So I'm glad to be a part of it. Yeah, it was amazing.
Well, I'm happy that you're starting to catch up on Pat's history. First time in the Brand Center.
Yeah.
What did that feel like for you?
Really cool. I've never been to the rink before, so it was really cool. It opened my eyes a little bit when I walked in. It was really cool, yeah.
I believe you have been to the city before. Of course, your dad, Darcy Hordichuk, hails from Kamsack, Saskatchewan, which is only 2 hours away from here. So having been, I guess, a Sasky boy in terms of your family roots, does that kind of make it feel like home here in Regina?
Definitely, yeah. I feel like it's only 2 hours away. Nice to drive up there, go see family. They can come watch. It's not a far drive anywhere to where we're playing this year. So yeah, it's cold there, cold here, and just get used to it. So
I don't mean to ask this question in terms of maybe putting a bummer on this interview, but of course the Phoenix Coyotes or the Arizona Coyotes are now moving to Utah. But what did it mean to you to have an NHL team over the course of your childhood? Did you think that had a role in you playing hockey at a young age?
Yeah, no, definitely. That motivated me, watching them every day, just going to every game, just watching them. Always wanted to be in that arena, that place, so be in their position, so yeah.
How would you describe just how hockey has grown in the state of Arizona? Of course, the biggest name coming out of Arizona is Austin Matthews. He's had a great start to his NHL career, probably one of the best goal scorers of all time. So just tell us how hockey has grown in your home state.
No, yeah, that definitely put Arizona on the map for hockey. So now everyone's just trying to be like Matthews. Everyone's trying to go to the NHL. So I feel like that's what everyone is, like the reason they want to play hockey. So yeah, it's definitely a big benefit. I feel like hockey's starting to grow in Arizona, except for the NHL team. But other than that,
Braden, before I ask you a little bit about your game, how would you describe yourself as a player? Of course, your father, Darcy, played in the NHL, played for the Vancouver Canucks, played for the Edmonton Oilers, as well as a couple other teams. The Atlanta Thrashers comes to mind too. But he also did play in the Western Hockey League with the Calgary Hitmen and the Saskatoon Blades. Tell us what your father's career meant to you in terms of encouraging you to go down this route, which is essentially the same route that he went down.
yeah, no, I feel like we tend to chirp each other a lot, so it's always been a goal of mine to just be better than him and just get under his skin a little bit. No, but it definitely, him being a physical guy and not very liked by the Pats, definitely, it was a surprise that I went here, but no, it's definitely amazing.
So how would you describe your game? Do you guys have similarities in terms of how your father played the game? He was a pretty tough guy in the NHL, but how would you describe yourself as a player?
I feel like I'm, like I said in a couple other interviews, like all around the map. I feel like if I'm not scoring, I'm being physical. If I'm not being physical, I'm scoring. And most of the time, I'm doing both. So,
well, congratulations on getting drafted by the Pats and signing earlier today. Best of luck the rest of the spring camp. Thanks for doing this.
thank you so much.
Pleased to be joined with Regina Pat's prospect Wagner, who just signed with the organization earlier today. You also just completed your first skate as a member of the Regina Pat's organization. How exciting was it to get on the ice for the first time with some future teammates and some future coaches as well?
Yeah, it was a pretty good feeling. Growing up watching these guys my whole life and then kind of getting to live that moment up skating with them is a pretty cool feeling.
Aiden, you mentioned just moments ago that you were watching these guys your whole life. Were you always somebody that followed the Western Hockey League, being from Yorkton, Saskatchewan? Of course, they do have an SJHL team, but you're signed in the Western Hockey League. So what did the league mean to you growing up as a kid?
Yeah, I mean, I was always in Regina watching games, so I always, had it in the back of my mind that I always wanted to play for Regina. And finally getting drafted here and getting to play is a pretty cool feeling.
When you found out that Dale McMullen and Alan Miller were interested in you over the course of the season in terms of the meetings that you had and the conversations, finally getting drafted and then signed, how neat of an experience was that for you to know that you were going to a team that, A, you just mentioned you wanted to play for, but a team that you knew was highly interested in you?
Yeah, I was actually shooting pucks when I got drafted, and I heard my parents scream, and then obviously I was at loss for words. Just, again, living up that childhood dream is a pretty cool feeling, and I don't think I would like to be anywhere else other than Regina.
And for some of the fans that don't know a little bit about yourself, how would you describe yourself as a player?
I think I can play both ways. I'm a defensive player, but if I join the rush, I think I do well up there too. Walk blue lines good, skate well. I can find the open guy back door. If I'm shooting it up the ice, I think I can play any role coaches need me to, and I'm willing to go to war for my teammates.
Aiden, the year prior you played for the Yorkton Maulers, but this past season you decided to play in Alberta at NAX, same school that Thane Wozniak played for, another player drafted by the Regina Pats. What did it mean to you to come to spring camp and have a familiar face, somebody that you won a CSHL championship with?
Oh yeah, it's good. Obviously he's on my team out here, so having that chemistry is obviously it's a good thing. And then, I don't think he's been to Saskatchewan very much, being from Alberta, so I get to help him around a little. It's pretty cool for both of us to be here.
And going to such a big program, how did that help evolve your game this past season?
Yeah, it definitely helped me develop, learn to live away from home. So obviously if I'm building in Regina, I'll be used to it. And then I think it built my character on and off the ice, being a good kid.
There's been a lot of talented players to come out of the Yorkton area. The first guy that comes to mind in terms of how well he played in the Western Hockey League, I believe Jackson Berezowski, played for the Everett Silverhawks, all-time leading goal scorer. Is that somebody that you were familiar with, a smaller stature player? I know he's a forward and you're a defenseman, but he's somebody who came to the Western Hockey League and had a lot of success.
Oh yeah, I've always skated with him like growing up. I actually skated with him this past week. He's always pushing me to my best and making me a better player, so it's good to have him kind of gone through the things that I'm going to be able to go through, so it's good.
Well, congratulations on getting signed by the Pats, and enjoy the rest of spring camp.
Thank you.